Hello, Libra, and welcome to my channel. I am Lola, your Empress of Love, and I am bringing you the tea on love and romance. I would like to thank those of you that liked, subscribed, shared, and commented on my channel. For those of you who got personal readings, thank you very much. Also, I'd like to invite those of you Libras that would like to get a personal reading. I offer same day readings as well as readings by appointment. You can go to www.whatsthettarot.com to get your personal reading. Okay, Libra. This reading is going to cover September 2017, and we're going to go ahead and get started. Now, the first card up is the card that I pulled to give me a basic reason for what's going on with you during this time frame, or what's going on with you as it relates to love and romance in this time frame. Okay, and the first card that you got up is the Judgment card, and you got the Judgment card in the reverse. Now, the Judgment card is the card that would be deemed as the wake-up call card, okay? Gabriel is blowing his horn to wake you up from the dead, so to speak. However, in the reverse, I'm going to say that many of you Libras are not paying attention. You're not listening. You're not heeding the call. Some of you Libras, you should be questioning your relationship. You should be asking, should I continue to see this person? You should be thinking twice about it. You should be saying, should I go out with this person again? But you're not. You're just not paying attention. You're seeing things that should not be. You are dealing with things that you should not be dealing with because they don't feel right to you. And that, I'm going to say, you are in a state of sleep, so to speak, and you're not listening to your inner person, your inner space, your inner being. You're not listening to your own voice. You're not listening to Gabriel's voice or Gabriel's horn as he's blowing it. You're having a deaf ear to what's going on, okay? And you're just not paying attention. The next card is a card that I pulled to basically give a follow-up on the first card. And for some of you Libras, there may be someone coming into your life that may offer some type of living arrangement, that may want to offer to take care of you. But this person may be a very lonely or unhappy person. Maybe even somebody that's married. Okay? Some of you Libras will have people coming back into your life from your past that may have cast you aside or didn't necessarily do the right thing when you were in their life. And they kind of scurried off and left you by the wayside. But they'll be coming back and trying to make amends with you and trying to win you back over. Also, some of you Libras, you won't feel that things are totally in place as they should be for you at this time. Even though some of you may feel like you have the world in your hands, and you may be dealing with like being able to see what it is that you want and not feeling as though you have enough. Okay? You may be holding the world in your hands, so to speak, some of you, but you may not feel that you have much, or you may feel lonely. Um, Things around you may be secure, may be solid, but you may feel still a form of loneliness or feel that you don't have exactly what it is that you want, or that really, that thing that makes you feel whole. You may feel that you don't have that. Okay? Um, the next card up for some of you, well, for all of you Libras, but for some of you, you may be dealing with what the card talks about, and it may resonate with some of you. And this card comes from the Psychic Tarot for the Heart deck, and this is the book that comes with it. And the card that you have here is the number 2 card, and it is the Listen card, okay? And the keywords here says see, hear, sense, quiet, intuition, knowing. It says take a moment to be quiet. Take a moment to quiet your mental chatter and listen. In relationships, it's important to pay attention to what the other person is really saying. Too often in conversations, you're already planning what you're going to say while the other person is still talking. You make the assumption about where the conversation is going, and plan your part of the conversation accordingly. You make assumptions about where the conversation is going and plan your part of the conversation accordingly. Even working the conversation to be designed desired mm, even working the conversation to a desired outcome. When this happens, you don't truly hear what the other person said, and in doing so, you weren't present for that person. Listening starts with becoming quiet, centered, and totally present. Listening involves many senses. Use your eyes to see the body language of the other person. Use your ears to hear not only the words spoken but also the tone used to express them. Use your intuition to get a sense of what the person is really saying and feeling. Intuition often helps you hear what is not said as well as what is said. This is crucial to understanding the person or situation. Understanding is essential to improving the relationship or situation. Remember, once again, to center yourself and use all of your senses to understand what is actually being communicated. Listening is a gift. Give this gift to your partner, parents, children, friends, co-workers, pets, and anyone you meet. Most important, give this gift to yourself. Tune into your mind, body, and soul. Are you listening? What do you hear? And the affirmation here for you Libras is I honor myself by being present and truly listening to the messages I hear. Again, that affirmation is I honor myself by being present and truly listening to the messages I hear. And this card corresponds with the traditional tarot, the High Priestess, which is calling you to go into your intuitive space, your intuitive place, and listen. Okay? The next card comes from the Cumany deck, which if you have seen any of my prior videos, you will know my story pertaining to this deck, that I once wanted to burn this deck. I wanted to get rid of this deck because each card that I drew was worse than the card before. I was going through a tough time, and as I said before, I am glad that I did not get rid of this deck because it has helped me tremendously. Because even though when I was going through the tough time, it gave me foresight, it gave me insight, and to be forewarned is forearmed. So the one thing I can say is that the cards were accurate and it helped me to get through the tough time that I was going through. Also, I mentioned that this deck is a good deck to start with if you are thinking of starting to read for yourself, your friends, your family, what have you. This deck is good because it has the words on the front and it has the upright as well as the reverse position pertaining to the interpretation of the cards. So it is helpful in that way. And I'm going to go ahead and read for you, Libras. Some of you, this card is the Page of Wands. And for some of you, it indicates that there's a male under 50. Wait a minute. No, a male under 30, actually. A male under 30. This writing is so small. Take a look, see at that. See how small that writing is? No. Okay. A male under 30 that may be stable but boring in his personality, inadequate as it relates to social skills. He may have low self-esteem and repressed anger, dominates others and seeks to control them, blows things out of proportion, overreacts, unrealistic about money. He's better at spending it than earning it. Also, he thinks the world owes him something. And or he thinks that the world owes him a living, perhaps. And he may even have poor work ethics. Okay? So this is the Page of Wands in the reverse, which means that he is full of himself and he's got a lot of negativity going on with him. And so pay attention to that situation. That may even be some of you Libras that this card is coming up for you to check yourself. If you're a young Libra male that's not doing what he should be doing, that is not motivated in doing what you need to do, though some of you could be stable, this card indicates, but you may have a boring personality and you may have inadequate or poor social skills. So you need to pay attention to that and correct that and get back on board with or either take some classes or something to learn some good communication and social skills so that you can get the best out of life and be the best you that you can be. Okay? Now that will conclude the portion of the reading for Libras. I am now going to go into the tea leaf portion of the reading, and that comes from this deck. Okay, I'm going to move these over, and I'm going to start to read the tea leaf fortune cards. Some of you Libras, you will experience what the purse card indicates, a card telling you to pay attention to your finances, because the purse card indicates that there's money pouring out of your purse. Either some of you Libras are spending money in a foolish way, or you're spending money that you don't really have, or you're making bad investments. Okay, so pay attention to that. Then you have the chain card. The chain card indicates a chain of events that will affect your life. Now, this chain is stretching across the world. So, therefore, this chain of events that the chain card is talking about will either affect your life in a direct way or in an indirect way. But it will be something that happened as a result of something else. So it is dealing with a large area, maybe a world event or something like that, but it is major and it is letting you know that this chain of events will affect your life. Okay? Maybe for the better, it may be for the worse, but it will affect your life. Then you have the younger woman, which indicates that there will be dealings for some of you Libras with a younger woman or a relationship with a younger woman. It doesn't indicate whether she's a friend or a foe, but it indicates that she will be a significant part of your life and that she is a younger woman, and the dealings or a relationship in some kind of way with a younger woman will affect your life. Okay? So keep that in mind. Then you have the broken wishbone card. The broken wishbone card indicates that a wish will not be granted. Okay? So pay attention to that. Something that you have wished for is not going to be granted. So just pay attention to that. Then you have the mountain. The mountain indicates major challenges to overcome. Now, the mountain card lets you to know that there are major challenges that are coming your way as you think about it. Think about climbing up a mountain, okay? And this card is talking about challenges that come about as you climb up a mountain. And this mountain does not have just one path. It has multiple paths. So this card is warning you, Libras, to make the right choices, to make certain that you take your time and think things through and make certain that you are moving in the right direction, because you will have multiple directions to go in, but if you make the right choices, things will be better off for you. But know that there will be multiple choices for you to choose from, and it's only one right path. Okay, so keep that in mind so that you can overcome the challenges that you need to overcome. Then you have the Lion card, which indicates that it is time to act. As the lion is fearless and does not fear anyone, or man or beast. The lion card is calling you, Libras, to act in kind. It is time for you to do what you need to do to man up for some of you, for you to stand as the lion, stand fearlessly against whatever is coming your way. That's your way of overcoming the situation, by standing tall, by standing firm, by standing sincere and dedicated to your convictions, and just doing what you know that is right for you to do, and to not run, but to act and see things through, even as the lion does. The lion doesn't run, except it's running after its prey to devour, to tear apart, to make certain that it is not a threat ever again. So that's what the lion card is calling you to do, to rip them apart, if you will. But it's basically saying it's time to act, you know, so that you will have your success that way. Okay. Then you have the hat card. The hat card indicates that you'll be playing a different role. The hat card is indicating to you that you will be switching hats. If in the past you were, let's say, um, a cab driver, all right, you are now going to start being a teacher. That's what the hat card indicates. That whatever you were doing before, you're going to be now doing something totally different. Okay? You will be playing a different role. So, for those of you that have perhaps been working for someone, you may be now switching into the boss role. Instead of being an employee, you will be the boss. Or for those of you who may have been housewives, you may be now venturing out to go find work outside the home. Or for those of you who have been working outside of the home, you may start to work from home, but you will be wearing a different hat. Okay? So there's some creativity coming into play because you have the ocean there, and that's the place where creativity comes from. There's success because you see the sun coming up. Okay, so just know that you will be wearing a different hat and there will be success following that. Then you have the not card. Some of you, your plans will be unsuccessful. Okay, um, some of you, the younger woman may have something to do with your unsuccessful plans or with your plans being unsuccessful. So something that you may have planned out or planned for is not going to happen for some of you Libras. So keep that in mind. Okay? Then you have the empty chair. The empty chair card indicates that someone is leaving your life. Okay? It could be in a romantic sense, it could be in a business sense, but someone that is significant is going to be leaving your life and it will impact you in a significant way. Okay? So just keep that in mind. And it could be someone that you want to leave your life because this card is next to the broken wish card, which indicates that a wish will not be granted. So therefore, it could be someone that is leaving your life because they broke a promise to you or something like that. Or somebody that maybe you broke a promise to that person and they will be leaving your life as a result of that. However, just pay attention that someone will be leaving your life as the chair empty comes up in this reading for some of you Libras. Then you have the quill card. The quill card indicates getting back to basics. The quill card says to you, Libra, get back to basics. Whatever you did in the past that worked for you, get back to doing that thing. Because the quill card is lying here and no one's writing with it. It's just lying there, which says that the basic things have been forgotten, they're laying dormant, and they need to be revised or revitalized or rejuvenated or brought back into focus, brought back into play in order for you to get your success. Your success will come with you getting back to basics. Do what you know that works. Do what you did in the past that works or that has worked. The quill card happens to be next to the mountain. So make the choice to do the right thing by doing the basic thing that got you to where you were successful, the place that made you happy, doing the things that make you happy. Get back to the basics, okay? So that's a help in um, the major challenges that you will overcome. If you get back to the basics, then you can overcome the challenges that you may face. For some of you Libras. Then the final card that you have is Needle and Thread. Needle and Thread card indicates a sincere wish being granted. So in spite of all that's going on with you, the chain of events that will affect your life, the changing of the hat, the money being spent foolishly, or bad investments, or spending too much money, and broken wishbones and empty chairs and knots that are causing difficulties and wishes not being granted and all that stuff like that, and unsuccessful plans. In spite of all of that, you have the Needle and Thread card, which says a sincere wish will be granted. So you have that to look forward to, Libras. That is a good card to get, because a sincere wish, a wish that is dear to your heart, is going to be granted. So that is a good note to end on. And I again would like to thank those of you Libras that have liked, shared, subscribed to my channel. I want to thank you again and again, and to say continue watching, continue liking, and also continue booking readings. Go to www.whatsthettarot to book your personal reading. And for those of you that have booked personal readings, I'd like to hear from you again and read for you again. I thank you for giving me the opportunity. And again, you know that I offer same-day readings as well as readings by appointment. So until next time, Libras, I'm going to say ciao for now.